Hello and welcome to Impact Champions, the podcast where we talk about learning and development and the impact that training can have on organisations. Today we're doing something a little bit different and new. We're going to look at some of our favourite movies that feature learning and development. So today we will be reviewing the movie and talking about the educational themes. I'm joined today by Davey Sams. Welcome, Davey.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Davey works with us here at ClearXP, but he is also a master cinematographer. I've worked with Davey on video shoots and he's an expert in all things film. I believe that you studied film at some point, Davey?
Unfortunately, yes. Yep, I have a film degree.
He has a film degree. He's also well-versed in education. So he's the perfect man, I feel, to discuss movies and education. And even better, educational movies. Not that the movies are all educational, but they certainly feature education in them. So the first movie that we chose, I think I chose it, but it was a bit of a unanimous decision.
Yep.
In the end, Dead Poets Society.
Good choice.
Davey, Dead Poets Society.
Yeah.
Do you remember the first time you saw it?
So this was a film I thought I had seen before.
Okay.
I just assumed because we'd seen bits of it in class. It's just it's in the ether, right? Like you know those famous scenes. And I sat down to watch it last night and realised I'd never seen it the whole way through.
Oh, really?
Before, yeah. So this was the first time.
Wow.
Which was unfortunate because you sort of know the big beats going into it. So obviously wonderful film, but completely spoilt by time in the sense of I sort of knew the big ending. You knew the final scene, the standing on the tables, all that stuff had already been ruined for me. Still holds up though. Still a great film. Absolutely.
I remember it. I did also watch it at school in English.
Yeah.
And this was in the early 90s when I was in, I can't remember what year, maybe 10.
Yeah.
And we were forced to watch it. It wouldn't have been the type of movie I would have watched because of the name.
Yeah.
It just wasn't an appealing name to a teenager in the 90s.
Yeah.
But we watched it and I remember being engrossed the whole way through, completely enthralled by Robin Williams.
Yeah.
And then I remember that a friend of mine in class during the movie at one point in a very poignant scene started laughing. And I remember at the time I said to him, well, what are you laughing for?
Yeah.
And they're like, because I don't want to cry in class.
Yeah.
And I was like, tear running down my eye going, well, good. I should have thought of that.
Yeah.
Because it was such a powerful film, even back then as a kid, virtually, it just made such a huge impact on you.
So that's a hard thing because I missed the opportunity to watch it at the age that the main characters are, which I think is an experience a lot of people have had. Yeah. So I missed that, but watching it as an adult, I was so grateful there was no one around. When I was watching it, I was like, "This is a relief." Watching that with your peers at that age, I can imagine. Exactly.
There was a lot of people attempting to hide their eyes or pretend that they're not really being all that affected by it. When in reality, it was just so impactful for a number of reasons. But we can talk about those in a sec.
Can I throw a school anecdote out there?
Yeah, sure.
We had a substitute teacher for about a week in English class, and she was one of those substitute teachers that you'd get from time to time who just like smashed it. We just liked them more than our teacher. She was replacing a teacher that, shall we say, was not popular with the students, right? Yeah. And she was great, and she got us. I think she thought we would get the reference, but we hadn't watched it in class yet. But she got us all to stand on the desks at the end, and I think she's had the experience of teachers. Since that moment on, I reckon it must be universal. She got us all to stand on the desks and then realised that there were fans on the roof and the fans were on. And so we very quickly were told to get back down. I'm sure I'm not the only one with a story like that.
I imagine has kicked in. It would have been good for us in the 90s because a lot of the kids had flat top haircuts. So they would have just been... okay. So on the rewatch then.
Yeah.
So we both rewatched it this week.
Yep.
As our homework. And I feel like we had this conversation earlier, but for me now as an adult watching it, I was more taken by the film itself, like the way it was made. Yeah. And particularly when realising that it was a Peter Weir film.
Yeah.
And we've just touched on Peter Weir before.
Yeah.
And for everybody out there in the world, Davey and I are definitely Peter Weir fans.
Yeah.
And I'm more recently been paying more attention to who's making these films that I'm really enjoying and understanding people's work.
Yeah.
But Peter Weir, for me, it was just such an obviously, I was watching it and I was like, well, this is clearly a Peter Weir film.
Yeah.
Peter Weir film.
Yeah.
The way it was made, the way he was shot, the way it was shot.
Yeah.
Everything at the camera, the way that they moved the camera. It just reminded me of scenes. Like, I think there was one scene when they're going down into the tunnel.
Yeah.
Moving through the rocks.
Yeah.
And then you see scenes from Picnic in Hanging Rock.
Yeah.
And it's like a similar type of thing.
Yeah.
The way it's shot, it just reminded me of it.
He's just... So this is a film with like a big cast of character, and he does a fantastic job at you know who the characters are. He keeps them distinct. And I believe, actually, as an aside, I believe he came on late. I believe a different director was originally going to shoot it. Yeah. But luckily, it wouldn't be the classic it was.
You know who that director was?
No.
The guy who did Revenge of the Nerds.
Oh, so it would have been just a...
Well, I don't know. Maybe
I
think that guy's done other films apart from Revenge of the Nerds.
Yeah.
I just remember Revenge of the Nerds being the one that they were referencing at the time.
Oh, wow.
And I think, from memory, Robin Williams didn't necessarily want to work with that guy.
Fair, yeah.
For whatever reason.
Yeah.
So they got Peter Weir in as a second choice, and it was proved to be a masterstroke.
So, because he's just so good at shooting people in groups. Yeah. It's a real... I don't know, it's a real talent of his. And you think of like Picnic at Hanging Rock is the classic.
It's a classic, yeah.
But there's some stuff in Witness as well with like the Amish, and it's the same thing. You can really track who's who, where they are, and as he does in this film, even if they're like wearing a hood, like, you know, in the nighttime, you sort of still know what's going on and who's who. It's really good.
Yeah, I think even because it was made in the 90s, early 90s.
Yeah.
He didn't bother trying to come up with the latest technology way of shooting. Yeah. He just shot it his way.
Yeah.
And it just worked so beautifully.
He's so good at that.
And it was because it was a period piece, right? It's set in the 50s. But even still, just like you don't want it shot any other way. You didn't need anything else. The way he did it was just, I thought it was spot on.
But it's the same in Truman Show and Master and Commander. Those are really technical films, like some of the stuff that he pulls off. But it always, I don't know how to describe it. It's so of a piece. It's so seamless that it's easy to miss how clever it is. Does that make sense? Yeah. Yeah, it's really good.
100%. So Peter Weir, legend of Australian cinema. We love him. I've got to see his other films. I did watch The Last Wave recently, and a recommendation from someone, and I was blown away. I was just like, wow, it's just amazing.
Yeah.
He's so good. Yeah. So credit to Peter Weir. I think the other thing about this movie that I noticed again was the performance of Robin Williams.
Yeah.
It kind of, you can't really watch it without sitting there just admiring the guy, going, "Wow, you're just a force of nature."
It's interesting watching it, this year, because he did such a good mix of his comedy stuff and his serious stuff. But this was Good Morning Vietnam, and then this I think was.
Yeah, I think that was it. Yeah.
And it must have just knocked your socks off in the 90s when it first came out to watch this and see him pull this off, because he's so good.
I think in the 90s, a lot of us really thought of Robin Williams from Aladdin.
Yeah.
And because of that kind of persona, or more from Mork and Mindy, and then Aladdin, that kind of really zany, really out there kind of thing with Robin Williams. So seeing him do this, even because Good Morning Vietnam had aspects of his zaniness, but he was more loudmouth kind of motor mouth type of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Not his total Mork and Mindy, completely zany character.
Big energy.
And then he did this, and there was the example that I saw the other day, that after seeing this, Jim Carrey then sought out Peter Weir, because Jim Carrey wanted to do he wanted to do Robin Williams.
Yeah,
the comedic actor who really has been cast in all these comedic roles, who probably has a lot to offer as a dramatic actor.
Of course.
So Jim Carrey saw it, and then he sought out Peter Weir to make The Truman Show.
Yeah.
So it's just that shows how much of a big performance it was from Williams.
The long tail of this film as well.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
How do you feel about? There's the scene where he's doing Shakespeare, and all of a sudden he sort of flips into Robin Williams mode a little bit.
Yeah.
Do you like that?
I do. Actually, watching the movie when I rewatched it most recently, because I remember that from when I first watched it, and I thought that was a bit of a laugh. I rewatched it, and I was like, kind of like, I don't know if I necessarily needed it. I didn't need it as much as previous, but then doing a little bit of research into the movie, I found out that was ad-libbed.
Oh,
that part of it was actually ad-libbed.
Right. Okay.
And because apparently Weir was saying that when Williams really wanted to do the role once Peter Weir was involved.
Yeah.
And he learned all his lines. And initially he was a little bit wooden in his performance.
Yeah, right.
So he wasn't giving that full Robin Williams, what they might have expected from someone who's like him. And then what happened was Weir kind of got him aside and was just like, all right, let's just get away from all the film crew and everything.
Yeah, right.
And let's just have you doing a bit of your improv kind of thing.
Yeah, right.
And so then the next thing they had him ad lib, just imagine that you're doing Shakespeare, but you're doing it, and so that was actually him ad libbing,
right.
And they shot it,
Yeah.
And then after that, I reckon Williams just got right into the character and was able to.
Yeah.
So it probably was a bit of a side effect of Robin Williams' first attempt at a truly dramatic role.
Yeah. And I've heard it described as like he's like the shark in Jaws in this film. Like he's not in a lot of scenes.
Yes.
He's just they use him very carefully.
That's such
I believe there's quite a few deleted scenes which they were clever to take out because he's just, the little bit you get is enough.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah. Well, the other one was, of course, the deleted scene that they took out that was sort of had a major impact on the way you watch the movie was the fact that Williams actually had lymphoma in the movie. So
right.
Mr Keating was actually, at the end, they had a scene where they were visiting him in hospital because he was...
Oh, no.
So, yeah.
That would not have...
No, it wouldn't have worked. And you'd rather have it, the part at the end where you're left with a bit of uncertainty.
Yeah, that's
as to what all the kids are going to do and what he's doing. I kind of like that.
It's perfect. I think that ending, the moment that it ends on, actually completely threw me off guard. For one, because you've seen that scene in the highlight reels and whatnot. I had no idea that was the last shot of the film.
Yeah,
so good. Yeah. Anything else would have been too much.
How do you have him in a hospital bed and stuff? It's just like, and because it kind of changes the dynamic of the film, the feel of the film, wherein that he's encouraging them to carpe diem and seize the day.
Yeah,
but. Is he doing that because he truly believes that, or is he doing it because he knows that he's got limited time?
Absolutely.
So that kind of, for me, I'd rather it be the first one.
I agree.
That he's just wanting them. He believes people should be out there living the best they can.
Yeah.
As opposed to doing it.
I agree.
For other reasons. So Williams for me was amazing in it. And the other performances were the kids in the show.
Man.
I mean... The first time we really ever saw Ethan Hawke. Yeah. And I didn't even remember him being in it.
So I wish I'd had that experience. I just kept waiting for him to be foregrounded as the main character. Yeah. Does that make sense? Because he was the one face who really stood out as But no, of course, he's just part of the ensemble. It was not Ethan Hawke yet.
No, not yet.
He's amazing in it.
He's really good. He's so understated. And another interesting... So full of interesting tidbits with this one. But the one I heard was that he was trying to stay serious throughout the whole film. Oh. And he was cast as a serious actor. Yeah. And Robin Williams was continuously trying to make him laugh. And he wouldn't. He was trying to stay in his character and his role. And of course the character he played was very shy and I just thought that was an interesting one for Ethan Hawke. But he, apart from Robin Williams, but he clearly was the most successful person after this show.
Which is a surprise.
Yeah.
You'd think they would all be people you just household names, but no.
No, that's right. Like Guy was on House.
Yes.
Which I only knew once I looked up where are they now type of thing on Cast. I was like, oh, yeah, that guy. Neil. But
it's surprising, again, watching it this year, like it's surprising that they are such kids, that they actually cast kids. Although I think some of them are older than they look. Yeah. But the fact that they, like there's scenes where their voices are cracking and they're pimply. I don't know. It's refreshing. Actually, their kids looking like kids.
Yeah. I particularly like the ones that weren't like the main characters, like Charlie and Knox and those who I thought I remember even when I watched it, I couldn't tell the difference between the two of them. I don't know why they cast two guys.
I struggled with that actually a little bit.
It would be like if you got Keira Knightley and Natalie Portman together. Which I think they did in Star Wars. So, I thought those two were really good. But I really liked some of these other guys. Like I think it was the guy with the glasses. Meeks, yeah. And his big tall mate. They were like they were they're just portraying these awkward teens so well. Yeah,
man. And the one, is it Charlie? The one who basically sort of betrays them at the end.
Oh yeah, Cameron,
not Charlie. Cameron. He reads so accurately to me. Like a kid that age with just a bad haircut that he's just like taking extreme pride in.
Yeah.
It's too real.
Yeah.
It's too real.
Absolutely. And Cameron is a classic example, I think, of one of the points I'll talk about when we start looking at the education in this movie, of someone who just doesn't get it.
Yeah. Yeah.
He just, like, from the outset, I think that the Keating character was very clear on what he's doing and what he expects from these guys. Yeah. And Cameron, he just doesn't get it. He doesn't buy it. He doesn't get it. Yeah. He's just going along. Yeah. And it was the least surprising thing. I remember when I first saw it, I was like, that guy sucks. Yeah. And then the second time around, I kind of remember what happened, sort of. But when he finked, as they call it, I was like, that makes perfect sense. You're always going to do that, mate.
You just knew. I was actually watching it thinking, I actually thought all of them were going to have these big arcs. Yeah. So I sort of thought he'd be a big one who'd buy in and have this big moment. But his arc is so much more believable. Yeah. And the same as like Ethan Hawke, I thought he would be like end up being the one who becomes the actor and like comes out of his shell. Yeah. But it's so much better the way they've done it instead. Yeah. I think like there's three antagonists in this film. There's like what did we say, Cameron? Yeah. There's the principal, whose name I'd had it and I've just forgotten. Yeah,
I think I just called him the principal.
And the dad, right? As well. You don't need to know the name, like the dad. Yeah. And they all, for all their antagonism, they're almost villainy in the dad case. Yeah. You can also kind of see, like there's like this sort of human element to them. Like even when the dad sort of almost comes down to his son's level a little bit and says like, you have the opportunities that I never did. Yeah. And you think that he's come up through it's 50s, so World War II is not long past. Yeah. He's probably had a pretty rough go of some of this.
Absolutely.
You kind of get it, but you also are like, he's the worst.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I feel a little bit with the principal when he comes and he starts teaching the class, and like you almost despise him at that point. But he was also somebody who has a real love for English teaching. Yeah. And there's the same thing. There's like the Latin teacher. Yeah. Not an antagonist. But they actually show that like a relationship between him and Keating developing, and it feels at first like they're just going to be classic friction between the two of them, and it's really interesting. Yeah. But I actually think, on that note, I think Cameron, the Fink, he almost gets less than the other antagonists of the film. Yeah. He doesn't buy in when you want him to, and he never does. Yeah. And then he thinks on them. Yeah. And he's just, he's the true villain in my mind.
He is. And you don't hear much about his backstory. Like you hear about the other people's family, and even when Neil, who we haven't touched on yet, very tragic story of Neil. Yeah. But even when Neil is saying to like Knox and to Charlie, "Oh, your parents are just the same." Kind of thing. Yeah. So you kind of know that they're all being oppressed or repressed or whatever the right word is for. Yeah. Which was very common. In those times. Yeah. Particularly in schools like that, where it's like a very privileged thing to go to that school.
I think so. Even that sort of like progressive, upwardly mobile parents, I think that was very much, the pressure was on for their kids. I think.
Yeah. But you don't hear much of Cameron's, so you just know that he's just a bit of a narc. Yeah, he's just a bit of a.
For him, it comes from inside. Everyone else is like top down.
He's just natively just like, you know what? I'm not just going to dob. I just feel like I need to dob.
But isn't that so believable? Like I feel like to anyone who's been through high school, so all of us, you know, like there was absolutely kids or people who were like that at that age.
Yeah, very much
for
so.
sure, right? Yeah,
and sometimes they were just contrary for the sake of being contrary.
right. Yeah,
It's just they, or they might have felt like they weren't really part of it in the first place.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe.
For whatever reason. But yeah, Neil was a really sad one, and the relationship with his father.
Yeah,
because I felt like watching it again, rewatching it again, and now as a parent,
yeah,
you're kind of like, well, I can sort of see like parents try to steer their kids in a certain direction.
Yeah,
and you, as a parent, you want to steer your kid until you feel like they can steer themselves.
yeah,
That's what we're trying to do. You try to help them, and then you want them to take the wheel and steer it. Whereas Neil's dad was just fully just wanting to drive at all times.
Yeah.
But you're waiting for Neil to sort of be able to say to him, "No, stop! I've got this. I know what I want to do."
Yeah.
And it's kind of like it was funny because I was almost saying it to the screen to his dad, saying, "He can do both, mate.
Yeah.
He can still act.
know,
Just because he
right?
wants to act doesn't mean he can't get an education."
Yeah, I know.
Like, why is it mutually exclusive? Why does he have to
Yeah.
stop acting? And the first thing, because he came in at the start and was like, "You've got too many extracurriculars."
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But Neil's point was, "But I'm getting LAs."
Yeah.
So it kind of like didn't quite make sense to me, that part of it. Again, maybe that's just the perceptions of that generation.
Yeah.
Yeah, Neil, it was sad. It was bad. Felt so sorry for him, and he was a great character. And I felt the interaction between Todd and Neil, like how Neil was helping Todd. Neil helped Todd just almost as much as Mr Keating did, in terms of the relation, building his confidence, and that scene where on the bridge and
the desktop.
Todd gets the desk set.
Yeah. Oh man, isn't that such a wonderful, I don't know, piece of filmmaking where it tells you everything you need to know about his home life?
Yeah.
Right? They didn't even remember that they got him that last. I can't remember if it's before or after they throw it off, but then is it Neil's like, well, don't worry, like you'll probably get another one next year. Oh, it's so good.
That's so good, and
it's such a great turning point.
Yeah.
For the character as well. After that, I think.
Yeah. I can't remember the name of the actor who played Neil.
He's got like a 3-barrel name.
The guy from House. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he was great.
He carries it.
Apparently, the two of those kind of ad-libbed that scene as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because I know that they lived together in the lead up to it as well.
Yeah.
And you spoke up in your research, but after his tragic scene, that he just like left the set. They just like Peter Weir just took him off the set and didn't let them say goodbye to him. And so he wanted that, which is clever, but it's diabolical.
Yeah.
It would have been hard. But they spent a lot of time like I don't know, not training, but rehearsing and living together and stuff. And it really comes through, I think.
Yeah. Okay, so how are we going? We've been talking about the movie for a fair bit. Might go into some scenes. Yeah. And these scenes I kind of picked out meaningful scenes, but there's also the parts where I feel like there's there's a part of it that is like there are principles of education or training that are really relevant. You could see potentially that they're intentionally doing it to show how particularly Mr Keating was teaching. Yeah. But also it's just kind of like there's some analogies in them for what we're seeing in learning and development nowadays.
So I took some notes, and I almost need your take on this because some of his methods I didn't quite follow. Yeah. Some of it's pretty clear. Yeah. The soccer ball one. Yeah. I didn't get the. Yeah. That one, that was. I didn't think that would be helpful. No, I've got all of his strength. That one was the one. I've got that as an example of what I can see that he was. There was, that's a principle. I would think that you could possibly even call that gamification. Oh yeah. But, I see. Yeah, no, I'm not sure. So I'll start off with the first one. So do you have some as well? Or no, I think I've got the same ones, but I might need to check. I wrote things as I was watching the film. Yeah. So the first one is really when they first introduced to Mr Keating. So right. So they're in the school. It's very stuffy, incredibly traditionalist. Yeah. It's just you can see that they're all. What do they call it? They call it
the name of the school. There's a nickname they call it.
Helton.
Helton.
And
yeah.
it's Welton, I think.
It's Welton Academy.
Yeah.
They call it Helton because they know it's just so stuffy again.
Yeah.
And strict, and they hate it. Right.
Yeah. Can't
So
blame
Mr Keating comes in, and then like the very first thing he does is he kind of just sets them outside of their comfort zone.
Yeah.
Straight away. And
Yeah.
like, I think it's even like he just goes. He doesn't even really say anything. He just says, "Well, come on then."
Yeah.
He gets them out, gets them off the chairs and out.
Yeah.
So he immediately
Yeah.
breaks the ice, gets them out of the comfort zone.
But they hang on that shot in a really interesting way as well. Where he's like, come on, and then no one leaves.
Yeah.
It's just like, this is what it would be like.
It's a classic kids just taking forever to do anything.
Yeah. But then once, and they touch on that later as well, but then once the first starts to move, then it just like the conformity they
follow.
just like,
And then what he does is the first bit of dialogue was really him setting expectations.
Yeah.
So this is the part where he's straight away, he's like, introduces them to Carpe Diem.
Yeah.
He talks about the poems and what they're going to be doing, the poetry, and he talks about Carpe Diem.
Yeah.
And he's whispering the seize the days, boys.
Yeah.
Seize the day.
Yeah.
And that's just classic education. You set the expectation early.
That's right.
You set the scene.
And it's what he's driving at for the rest of the term as far as we see, right?
Yeah.
And
Which is, there's various elements to that, which we'll touch on in a sec as well.
Yeah.
But the fact that he's got this expectation straight away, and then what's he doing? He has them immersed in the environment where there's he's talking about all the history and all the people. It's really practical. It's really, he's like they're in this immersion zone, immersed by all the people in history, and he's reinforcing his point by saying all these people, they're all legends.
Yeah.
But they're all gone.
Yeah.
You only have a limited time on earth. Seize the days, boys. And it was like, for me, watching it, I was like, oh yeah, such a good point.
Yeah.
And you can see them kind of various levels of people, the kids understanding it and taking it on. Yeah.
I think Mr. Keating does a good job of like he sets it, and then he has like an outline almost, and then he explains what he means.
Yeah.
And then you see them. That's when he's starting to bring some of them to his side.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. And he's always using the poems to reinforce his point.
Yeah.
So he's got his Carpe Diem, and he's got the one about what's your legacy, or what are you going to contribute?
I think it's in that first scene as well. I think there's a Robert Frost bit in there, like I took the path less traveled or whatever.
Yeah.
I think it's tricky though, isn't it? He just interleaves it into his conversation, some of the poetry. It's easy to miss the first time you watch it.
So sometimes that's one of the things about his delivery style. Sometimes it's, well, for me anyway, it's difficult to say, is he teaching them to learn the education?
Yeah.
Or is he philosophizing? Or is he a philosopher?
Yeah.
So is he an English teacher teaching them English? Or is
Yeah.
he teaching them a philosophy?
Yeah.
Which may not be different things, but it was like sometimes it wasn't really clear.
Yeah.
And from instructional design education perspective,
Yeah.
it'd be crystal.
It's true.
But it was good because the thing he did do better than anything you've ever seen before is the way he gets their attention.
Yeah.
And I feel like people have been trying to copy that.
Yeah. Yeah. I think with mixed results, I think it's fair to say.
Absolutely. But it's that getting people out of their comfort zone.
Yeah.
Getting their attention. It's the classic thing about any kind, even when you're doing a presentation or speaking or doing anything.
Yeah.
One of the first things they say is to try and get their attention in a really interesting way.
Yeah.
So if only we could all be Robin Williams / John Keating.
Yeah.
So that's the first one. So he sets the scene,
he
captures their attention, and then he immerses them in
practical
part, which is brilliant.
Yeah.
Second one is which is such a good scene as well. So he's back in the classroom, and he starts with the textbook. So he kind of...
Oh, yeah.
So he has one of the kids start reading it out.
Yeah.
And then he starts drawing the graph.
Yeah.
And it's great because you can see in the class that there are all different styles of people wanting to do things.
Yeah.
So you call it learning styles or learning preferences nowadays.
Yeah.
Learning styles isn't necessarily a proven thing. but their preferences as to what they. So you've got Cameron the Fink with his ruler drawing the graph that it turns out that Robin Williams was just doing for dramatic effect.
Yeah. And then later when they're ripping the page,
and
he gets his ruler.
But then when Robin Williams is like excrement, and Cameron's got his and he starts to scribble out his graph. So you can see that in the class there's always people with these different. There's a couple of them like your mate with the thick neck. He's just he's bored. Some of the guys at the back are kind of just listening and paying attention. But then he's like excrement. And then they're all starting to pay attention, and then they realise what this guy's all about. Ripping out the pages again. It's his physical thing. He's got their attention.
That line, like I love Byron, but I can't dance to him. Or I give him 47. Like, great. It gets the kids on their level. You have to wonder if Keating had been allowed to finish out his term or the year, how it would have gone, because he succeeded in probably one of his objectives, which was to instill a love of like literature or poetry in these kids. And probably it's probably a lifelong love for some of them. But you have to wonder, would you have got there in the end? It's unorthodox.
I'd hope to think so. Hopefully they would have got Cameron up on the desk.
Well,
So and then, so you mentioned the soccer scene, and I said, you wonder what the point of it was. And that's why I used the word gamification, but it wasn't using gamification how I would like to see it being used.
The 50s version.
What's the correlation between soccer and poetry?
Right.
It's kind of like, okay, you're making poetry fun, potentially, because presumably they enjoy playing soccer, which it isn't clear if they do or not. Oh, no, actually, I think it is, because they enjoy it and they're celebrating at the end, they're picking him up. And
true.
So clearly the soccer is something they find enjoyable. So if he's trying to take something that they enjoy and align it with reading a verse, do the thing. So maybe he's trying to take something that he's trying to get them to start enjoying.
Almost needs like a reinforcement after that, I think. But
And sometimes the relationship between, like, maybe it would have been better if he had found a way for them to have another way to have a more enjoyable way of doing the verse as opposed to kicking the soccer ball. It isn't necessarily aligned. And it wouldn't necessarily be relatable. But it's still better than just flat out reading out of the textbook.
This is 100% right. Just getting them out of the classroom as well is
always
a good move.
Classroom.
I think I'm probably jumping ahead on your notes, but I think the next one that we see, or where they're doing the walking, you'd almost want to ding him for the same thing. Like, I don't see the correlation, but then he has a much better job in that one where he pulls it in to what he's trying to get at. He's like, look at how, like, at first they're just walking and it seems, what's this? And then they're like, it's talking about the conformity. And then then it's just now you walk and you just walk for the joy of. And he's like, you don't have to do it. You can do it something silly, but you don't have to do something silly. Just find your thing. Find your rhythm. That pulls into, I think, his learning objective is much better than the soccer one.
Particularly when whoever it is, Knox or Charlie, the same person, whoever they are, they're like, he's like, are you joining us? And and the guy's like, I'm exercising my right not to walk. And that's like, and then Mr Keating's like, yes, that's the point. And you're like, So you're right. I actually didn't have that scene in my notes.
Well, good, because I want to throw something else out there about that scene.
Well, I was too busy thinking about Monty Python and then
because one of the kids goes for it.
Goes the Ministry of whatever it was.
Silly
walks.
Because then at the end of the film, like, we see the Latin teacher, who we've seen earlier, just doing like sort of the worst type of learning methodology. One of the more outdated types, right? Like, they're just reciting verbatim, following his lead. And later on, he's doing basically exactly the same lesson, but now they're marching in the snow to do it. And I always thought that was interesting, because I feel like Keating's had an influence, obviously, right?
Yes.
He's trying, but he's kind of missing the mark, I think. Now they're still just doing rote sort of memorization, but while marching in the snow. I'm not sure if he's quite pulled it in yet, but he's on a path to something, maybe. It's the 50s, he's getting there.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I think that anything in those days that is outside of the norm, which the principal, which is a great scene, it comes up later too, where the principal is articulating to Mr Keating about what the norm is and what they expect. And particularly that line where he goes, just get them to college. Then they're not our problem, or whatever it was. So that's kind of like, it just really tells you as a viewer really what they're all about.
That's right. It's almost
What
like
their level of care of these people really
exactly right.
Yeah.
Which is interesting, like because he in that very first like the drop off start of the term, start of the school year, I guess, sort of scene. He knows the parents, he knows the siblings. He's sort of personable in his way.
Yeah.
But then as you uncovered, like as you get into it, these kids aren't individuals to him at all. Like they can discover themselves as individuals at college when they're out of his hair.
Correct.
Yeah. Interesting.
100%. Okay, so one of the other ones that was a really strong theme I felt was his coaching.
Yeah.
Coaching from and a mentoring perspective, and the way he did it in a couple of times. So the really obvious one was when he first got tied up in front of the class and he was doing the Yorp scene.
Yeah.
Where Yorp.
Yeah.
But then through his coaching.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a scene where he had him holding him by the head, which wouldn't be cool in this day and age. Definitely not. But he was coaching him.
Yeah.
And he was doing some classic coaching things where he wouldn't let up on him.
Yeah.
And it's like you're putting him in an uncomfortable situation.
And to close your eyes. Stay with it. Yeah.
Stay with it, and then
good.
And then expand on it.
Yeah.
It's like that's coaching. That's what people are doing with their coaching.
Yeah, it's true.
And he did it so well.
So well.
Yeah.
There's two things happening there that are just amazing. One that it's completely effective, right? Like he draws out something really special.
Yeah.
And then if my memory was that then the class sort of laughs a bit because we're teenagers, right? Of course we're going.
Yeah.
And he still talks to him through it. It's like this is yours. You did it. Ignore that.
Yeah.
They wish they'd done it. Almost like it's
right.
really good.
Yeah,
It's perfect.
it's
And
so
it
good.
stays with the character as well. It's good coaching.
Yeah, like right at the end where he goes, I think I remember the exact words he says to him, but you remember this, or you, like that, like his feeling.
Yeah,
that's the feeling. That's
It's
you
so
capture
good.
that. It was great. I loved that part.
Also, so on the film side of it, I'm getting a little bit.
Yeah, no,
excited.
you go film. You're the film guy.
We've talked about this before off podcasts, obviously, but when you need to put sort of creativity into a film, it's always really tricky. The one I always reference is like Mr. Holland's Opus, where he's been working on this piece of music, and then you hear it at the end of the film, and I think it's just a bad piece of music. And it's from a book, and in the book, it's like, and then he played his Opus, and everyone loved it at the end. And whereas this is such a great example of like, he draws something out of this kid, and it's conceivably, like, believably written by a teenager.
Yes.
But it's also good.
Yes.
I just think they do that so well, and it's so hard. It really can. And same as the play that you see later in the Midsummer Night's Dream. It's it's about as much frills as you'd expect from a local production, but it's well done. It's good stuff. Really good.
It is really good. And then you touched on it before, where they had the we have no idea what this guy's name is. We're calling him the thick-necked guy.
Mr. Thumb.
Mr. Thumb. But he gets up in front of the class and he's like, the cat sat on the mat. And looked at his mates. He's like, but then the other principle and concept, which is so important in education, is feedback, right?
Yeah.
So Mr. Keating is just like, he's like, I don't mind that you did something simple. Simple's brilliant. Simple's beautiful.
Yeah.
But never be ordinary.
Yeah.
And it was such a great way to sort of just get to this guy and just say, okay, I guess I get that you were taking the piss.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
But there is actually something in what you did that there is merit to.
Yeah.
But the fact is, you came across as being basic.
Yeah. That's right.
It's pretty much. That's what he was saying to him. And he's just like, well, it just was immediate feedback. It was clear, and it was so well.
Yeah. And
perfect.
It ties back to his earlier learning objective, right? Like, it's like you write upon about your cat, go for it. But like, if you're going to put something out into the world, it has to be something. There has to be something not basic.
Correct. Exactly right.
It. It's so good.
Yeah. So that was the other thing I really liked. And then the other bit of feedback and coaching was a bit later on when he's talking to Neil, and because Neil really confided in him about his father, and it was very tricky to watch because you knew what was coming.
Yeah.
But you feel like Mr. Keating did everything he could in terms of being a supportive, and he obviously wouldn't have known what was underlying with Neil either.
Yeah.
But Keating was very saying, no, you need to.
Yeah. That concern in his face, he knows.
He kind of knows. But he's like, Neil says to him, there's got to be an easier way. There's got to be a better way. And Keating's just like, no, there is no easy way.
Yeah.
It's like he's doing honest feedback and he's providing this
That's
really
true.
coaching to try and help him as best he could.
Yeah.
Which he probably has only known this guy for a couple of months, so no one has really knew about what was happening with Neil. But I thought that bit of feedback and that bit of coaching that Keating was doing, that couldn't have got him across the line.
Yeah.
And probably nothing was going to help him in what he was really struggling with.
That's an interesting one as well, because it's almost the feedback Neil's been getting from his friends as well. And I think that it's speaking from a film point of view as well, like the film sort of posits that because his dad gives him that opportunity, almost baits him into it. It's like, fine, tell me how you feel. Yeah. And Neil just can't get it out.
Yeah.
And it is like there's that consistent, pretty similar feedback he's been getting from Mr. Keating and from his friends, but he just can't quite land it. And then,
But anyway, I'd say from an educational perspective, the coaching of Mr. Keating was good.
Yeah. Prompt feedback.
Prompt feedback. Important. Clear. He was like he had radical candor. He was always very kind. He was never aggressive, never passive aggressive. He was never he never was surly or sullen or anything like that. He was always very, he was really clear, and he always was very honest with what he said. Yeah. So the last bit was the relationship with the principal. So the principal sort of saying, the curriculum is set. Yeah. We have this is proven. Yeah. This works. Yeah. And then John's response is, well, isn't education about setting these people up to be able to have their own mind and be able to question things? Yeah. And so it was very much the traditional set in their ways, their ability to be able to see a different way of doing things. Yeah. And just being just not even a possibility. Yeah. In that space. Yeah. Yeah. Classic conflict in education a bit, right? Yeah. It's a big analogy for some of the things we deal with in terms of just the way this is the way it's done. Yeah. And you're like, well, no, there's a better way. There's a good way. There's an engaging way. There's a way that people learn better, and there's a way that you're immersing people in all this other stuff. Keating's bringing in these new... I mean, because it's referenced a few times in the background of the film, but he's been living in London. Yeah. So he's bringing in these new ideas. Correct. But he's, unfortunately, not being implemented. All right. So, Davey, out of 5, from a film's perspective, oof, what would you give Dead Poets Society? I mean, it's a classic for a reason, right? Yeah. I'm going to go 4 out of 5. Yeah. But it's almost a 5 out of 5. I'll give it 4.5. Yeah. I don't know what a 5 out of 5 movie is. I can't. I mean, that's the thing, right? I don't know. It just feels like... I'll think of one. So from an education and training perspective, Mr. Keating and the principals in the movie? So I'm going to give this 11 standing out of 20. Because I think that's how many he got through to at the end. Oh, is that right? I think Mr. Thumb, he got through to him in his feedback. He did. Mr. Thumb stands up. Yeah, Mr. Thumb stood up. Mr. Cameron sitting down. Yeah. And then there's a handful of others. So he passed. He passed. And, I mean, in a short year, right? Yeah. Like, I think it's only one term it's there. So he's done all right. I think he's done all right. He made his point with his main target of his coaching. Yeah. With Mr. Anderson. Yeah, that's right. So that was a win. So I'll give him 2 extra stars. I'm giving him 13 out of 20. I mean, for getting through with his coaching. That's it, right? Because the world that was, not that he would have known this, but the world that was to come, he set those kids up. The ones that he got through to, he set them up well for the next decade, I think. Absolutely. Okay, that's Dead Poets Society. Thank you for joining us in Impact Champions. We will be back next time. Remember to like and subscribe. Bye.